So I was thinking about the concept of marriage as God's idea the other day, and I realized that 100% of my clients are struggling because they do marriage as if they do not understand that marriage is God's idea. The reality is this: if you're going to have a successful marriage, then you have to understand that marriage is God's idea, meaning He's the one who created it. Why is it important that we know who created it? Because the creator of something is the only one qualified to determine the purpose of it and how it works best. For example, if you had a Samsung refrigerator, like we have a Samsung refrigerator, if you had a Samsung refrigerator, you would not call Maytag for them to tell you how best to operate your Samsung. Now, Maytag may have refrigerators, and so they may be similar. But the thing is, Maytag can't tell you how to operate the Samsung the way that Samsung designed it because Samsung designed it. In the same way, because God created marriage, He is the one who determines how it works, how best to do it, and what success in it looks like. Now, you don't have to believe that in order for it to be true, just like you don't have to believe in gravity for it to be true or a real thing. But watch this. If you go against gravity, you're going to pay the natural consequences that comes with that decision. And in the same way, you are going to suffer the natural consequences that come with trying to do marriage your way. But let's define a successful marriage, right? First, let me say this. Longevity does not mean success, right? You can be married 30 years and never have a successful marriage. So it's not about longevity, nor is it about avoiding divorce, right? That doesn't mean that you're successful. The word success means desired outcome. So then in a successful marriage, it means a marriage with the desired outcome. But here's the question. What is the desired outcome? Now, you may think that you have the right to determine the outcome or the desired outcome for your marriage because it's your marriage. But the truth is, you can't determine the desired outcome for something that's not your idea. For example, I can determine that I have successfully washed my car when it meets my desired outcome because it's my car. I'm the one that's washing it. Or if I'm in my wood shop working something, let's say I'm in the wood shop making a sign. I am the one who determines if the sign is the desired outcome that I intended, thereby making it successful. But when I was in school getting my master's degree, I did not determine what it meant to successfully complete the course so that I can graduate. When I got that was already determined for me. If it had been up to me, a lot of those classes I took, I wouldn't have taken because I thought they were unnecessary. But someone else decided, hey, this is necessary. So this is the desired outcome. And then when you do this, we determine you are successful. In the same way, I can decide to get married, but I can't determine what the desired outcome of marriage is because marriage is not my idea. I didn't create it. So that's success. Let's define marriage based on the creator of marriage. Marriage is a sacred relationship between a man and a woman who are emotionally, spiritually, and sexually connected. Okay? Now, when I say sacred, the reason I say sacred is because the word sacred means it is exclusive, like it's only for one use, like it don't have many uses, right? That's what sacred means, set apart, right? And marriage is not like any other relationship we humans engage in. Marriage is the only relationship that we make a choice to get into, but in order to get out of it, the only exit is death. Also, marriage is the only relationship that automatically and immediately supersedes in importance the relationships of your family of origin. And then marriage is the first human relationship God established, right? Just those three things sets marriage apart from every other relationship. And I really could do a deep dive on all three of those. So again, marriage is a sacred relationship between a man and a woman. Now, let me say this here, right? I'm not going to dance around or debate this issue. Okay. Marriage is between a man born as a man and a woman born as a woman. So are you saying that the concept of same-sex marriage is not marriage? Well, first of all, I said what I said. But second, I did not create marriage. I did not decide what it is. God had already established what a husband is and what a wife is before I ever showed up. So I'm just saying what he said. Okay, so it is an intimate relationship between a man and a woman who are intimately connected emotionally, spiritually, and sexually, right? Without the sex part, the emotional and spiritual connection can happen with pretty much anybody. It can happen with a friend, but then that sexual piece, you have all three, that's a part of marriage. Okay, so it is a sacred relationship between a man and a woman who are intimately connected emotionally, spiritually, and sexually. Okay, that's marriage. Now, we understand success and we understand marriage. We put them together to come up with the definition of a successful marriage based on the creator of marriage, right? We can't just make it up on our own based on the creator of marriage, meaning his intended outcome. So then here's the definition of a successful marriage. It is a marriage where the husband and wife are becoming fruitful, multiplying that fruit, and having dominion. I'm going to say it again. A successful marriage is when a husband and wife are becoming fruitful, multiplying that fruit, and then having dominion. Now, you may have guessed already, if you know anything about the Bible, I extracted that from Genesis 1:28, where God said, be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion. This verse, Genesis 1:28, it actually highlights what we know now as the be, do, have principle. See, most people don't realize, most people don't understand that the be, do, have principle came from God. What does it mean, be, do, have? It means in order to have, I have to do. In order to do, I have to be, right? I have to be the person that will do the things that will get me to have the results. You feel me? So then a couple will have a successful marriage when they be who God created them to be, which is fruitful, when they do what God said do, which is multiply, and then they will have what God said they can have, which is dominion. So then what does it mean to be fruitful? Well, first, let me tell you what a fruit is. A fruit is an organism that has within itself the seeds to reproduce after its own kind, okay? So then to be fruitful in marriage means to produce the fruit of marriage. What are the fruit of marriage? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. How do I multiply the fruit that I just gave you? How do I multiply that fruit? By planting it in your partner and in your family, and then in the world abroad. That's how you multiply it. Then after I multiply it, particularly in my marriage, now I can have dominion. Dominion over what? Not each other, right? Understand that it was never God's intention for humans to dominate one another, right? That was never God's design. As a matter of fact, somebody needs to send a message to Jokic and the Denver Nuggets to let them know it was never God's design for them to dominate other humans, because right now they're going through the NBA like they're dominating everyone who's not a Denver Nugget, and that's ungodly. I'm silly. It means that when I be the person and I do the thing, I can have authority over my marriage the way God intended. See, here's what a lot of people don't realize. God never intended to run the earth. God is the overseer of everything. But God created human beings to have authority on the earth like he has authority in heaven, right? God never wanted to rule here the way he rules in heaven. He wanted us to rule here. And even though we live in a fallen world, what God did through the death, burial, and resurrection of Yeshua, God gave us the authority to have dominion over our world back again, like he gave the authority back to us. See, the enemy may be running rampant in the earth, but that does not have to be so in your marriage and in your world. By the way, your world only exists in your mind. Your world does not exist anywhere else on the planet other than within you. So when you allow what God has done to become true in your life, you then can have dominion over your over your marriage and your world. Guys, if you can grasp this concept, it will radically change your experience on the planet. Now, what does all this mean? It means that in order to have a successful marriage, you need to understand that marriage is God's idea. See, understanding that marriage is God's idea then gives you insight on where to go when marriage is not working the way it should be working. Getting married may have been your idea, but what marriage is and how to be successful at it, that's God's idea. Now, if you would like to get these 30 things that I would tell someone if it was my last time telling them something about marriage, then there's a link at the bottom where you can click to sign up to get the emails, right? Not all of the emails will include a video like this one. I send them out every day. Okay, so today is only day 3, so you can catch up. But if you want to get the daily emails of these 30 things that I'm sharing, then sign up for the email and you'll start getting them tomorrow. Outside of that, man, if this was good for you, share with somebody you care about. Share with a married couple that's struggling, right? Tell them to sign up for the 30 things, for the 30 days, because it is going to, if you grab hold to what I'm sharing, it is going to drastically change your marriage. I'm sure of it, because it's not my truth, right? This stuff is already established. Okay. So what were the first 2? The first one was, I don't remember. You can get the back play or whatever. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully you got enough out of this that will make you want to at least turn towards doing marriage God's way. Because I told you in the beginning, 100% of my couples are struggling because they do not understand fully that marriage is God's idea. All right. So you guys take care and stay connected.